Smash, the storytelling game show. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm so happy to be with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in on Facebook and on YouTube, and feel free to leave comments in the chat room, and let's get this party started. All right, you guys, I'm going to introduce the Wheel of Stories. Here it is. Look at that. All right, on the Wheel of Stories, you're going to see 12 permanent topics. Topics like drunk tank, breakup, mom, holidays, and pandemic. There's also an additional space that says free, and if the contestant lands on free, then they can choose any topic on the wheel. There's also 3 spaces that say audience, and if they land on audience, well, then that's when you guys out there come into the game and leave a story topic in the chat. And then if the contestant lands on audience, one of our expert judges will choose it to be the contestant's topic. And speaking of expert judges, let's bring them on the screen right now. All right, you guys, this first judge coming to the show, he's a comedian and a writer, and he has written for Mad TV and Mad Magazine, and you can hear him on the Nerd Poker podcast, and he's the host of the legendary Lucha Vavoom here in Los Angeles. Please welcome the very talented Blaine Capatch. There it is. Hey, Blaine.
Oh, hi, Christine. I didn't hear you come in. Hi, it's me, Blaine Capatch. It's great to be here on Story Smash, and I couldn't be here, and we couldn't do the show without the help of some of our sponsors this evening. Brought to you by Flowers. You don't bring them anymore. And Clown. Send them in. Not to mention Puffs with Astroglide. Come on. Cut to the chase. Who are we kidding? Puffs with Astroglide and Bang Jet Blue. Sky High Airlines. Wacka wacka wow. Flight attendants prepare for the D. Bang Jet Blue. Christine?
All right, you guys, this next judge, she's an author and a performer and a podcast and radio host. She's a speaker and a life coach, and she has a show on Sirius XM that you just can't miss. Make sure you check it out. The Kelly Carlin Show, and her best-selling memoir, A Carlin Home Companion, Growing Up with George, was based on her solo show, but now she has turned it into her online community and coaching program called Women on the Verge. And like I said, you can hear her on Sirius XM show, The Kelly Carlin Show. Please welcome the fantastic Kelly Carlin. Hey, Kelly.
Hey guys, thanks for coming to my house today. I'm just sitting here casually drinking some beer, hanging out, and Story Smash came by. So I'm just happy to be here and thrilled to be alive and speaking to humans through a camera on my computer. How odd and unique.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, we have glitches now and then, but we have shockingly few glitches for what we're doing, so it's really exciting.
I've never had a problem.
Yeah, I mean, this space is like I don't know. We could take this on the road and do this live someday. Who knows?
I think we should. All right, you guys, let's round out the judges panel tonight with a fantastic comedian, writer, and actor. You've seen him on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he has a fabulous podcast called the Mental Health Comedy podcast with Jennifer Kalari. I never miss an episode. Truly, this podcast is so good. He's had on Pete Holmes recently, and Alan Swibel is on this week. It's just a great show. Don't miss that. And I got to tell you, if you're a Sopranos fan, you may remember this actor from episode 2. Way back when. He was the comedian that performed for Richie April's homecoming party after his release from prison. You remember this? And they're in the Bada Bing, and then Silvio tells the comic to get the hell off the stage, and he introduces the Bing Girls. Also, this judge and I, we share the same birthday. He is my brother from another mother. Please welcome Ed Crasnick. Ed! There he is. Whoa. Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a pleasure to be coming to you from the Tylenol PM Talk Center, Christine. Everything is sponsored tonight. My pants are by Allegra.
All right, you guys, we're going to play 2 rounds of the show tonight. In the event of a tie, we'll go to a spin-off round. Now, the judging is based on 3 things. I think you guys know this. The story, the ability to stay on the topic, and the time. Now, the judges will give each category between 1 and 5, a total score of 15 per judge, or 45 for the round. And then you add that to the second round, and there's more points. It's very exciting. Whoever gets the closest to 90 is going to win this game. And let's go ahead and start the show. Good luck to all the contestants. And remember, please, we do fact check the stories. All right, you guys, I'm reaching into the Story Smash can of truth to pull out the first person's name. And that name is... Oh, all right. Now, this guy, he's a writer and a performer and the co-host of the podcast, Two Old Queens. He teaches at the Upright Citizens Brigade, and he wrote a musical parody of Stephen King's It, which won the LA Ovation Award for Best Book of a Musical, even though one of his fellow nominees was Neil Simon, in case you weren't aware, and he had been dead for 3 years. I'm not sure what's happening. Please welcome John Flynn. John!
Hello.
John, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
We are so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to be seen.
You are a well-known storytelling coach and performer
you.
here in Los Angeles, and it's really nice to have you back.
Thank you. It's so great to be here.
Excellent. All right, you guys, let's tell John what to do.
Spin. That wheel.
There we go.
Spin brought to you by Oat Fab laundry detergent. Move over, Almond Fab. It's now got the cleaning power of oats. Oat Fab, Christine.
Okay.
Oh, shit. He landed on free.
Woo!
He landed on free. That means John Flynn can choose any of the topics on the wheel. He's got 1 minute to tell the story.
Oh my
1 minute. You choose your topic. There they are on the banner beneath us. And when you're ready, buddy, I'll start the clock.
Oh my goodness. So many great topics to pick from. I'll do pets.
Pets. All right. When you're ready, John, I'm going to put a minute on the clock. Let's hear about your pets.
So my father is a huge dog person. Growing up, we've always had several dogs, plenty of dogs. My family lives in New Jersey. So a couple Christmases ago, I went home to New Jersey. And like most people from California, when you leave California, you bring weed with you. So I brought a whole lot of pot cookies with me. And even though I was these pot cookies were in a Ziploc bag, inside a Tupperware container, inside another bag on the top shelf of the closet of the guest room that I was staying in, and that door was always closed. Yet somehow one of my father's dogs got into all of that, and I walked into to check something from my room, and he was making his way through all these cookies, and there was about 20 of them, and there was maybe 6 left. Of course, initially my siblings and I all sort of panicked because my father's a judge, if I haven't mentioned that. So so our first goal was to sort of like wait it out. We're like, it'll be fine. First of all, we all Googled like dogs and pot, and everyone was just like, no, they can't get too hurt. So it didn't work. We had to go to the vet. We went to the vet and immediately we told them like the dog ate too much pot. And the vet was like, thank you for telling us this, because normally people won't say that. And it's either the dog has eaten weed or it has a brain tumor, but it was fine.
All righty. Just over the time, 107, Ed Crasnick.
You're amazing, John. What a great story, and what a great storyteller. It had urgency. It had it was like a movie. It was like Beethoven stuff, one that you didn't see.
Beethoven 420.
420. Yeah, that is great. That's the joke. That was really interesting. I have to tell you, you're so engaging, and I love the idea of a dog that's high. Because they're not relaxed enough. They need to be relaxed. So now they're going to sleep 50 hours a day. But no, but what I can say is it had pathos, it had warmth, it had style. You have all those things. Obviously, a great storyteller. I'm going to take 1 point off for time.
Sure.
Okay. We have to do that. But the rest is 5. It's 5s and 1 point. So it's a 14, John. It's a 14.
And Ed, I got to tell you, you really have some good bedside manner. Kelly Carlin.
John, great job. really, like Ed said, a lot of urgency. I was on the edge of my seat. I wanted to know the end of the story, which is for me key. Like that's like, get me there. I want to know what's happening. I'm on the edge, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to take 1 point off for time and another point off because you never mentioned the name of the dog. And I like specifics in my storytelling, but I'm going to give you that point back because you didn't use the phrase dog day afternoon. So 14.
Phew. Thank you. Thank
Another
you.
14, I believe. Blaine Capatch.
I loved it. I'm not gonna take points off for time because I'm not that kind of a guy. I'm not gonna take points off for you making huge mistakes or glaring errors or horrible missteps or faux pas. I'm not that kind of a guy. I love that you said that you travel with weed. It just seems it's so normal now. It seems so quaint back then. Your father's a judge. Reinhold or Dread. That's what I wrote down. I don't know why I wrote that down, or even read it and said it out loud. I love the idea of a fucked up dog. I wish there was dog nip, fish nip, different nips for different animals. I don't know why cats get the only ones, but I think you buried the lead here. I have to take a point off for you burying the lead. The fact that your father is a huge dog person. I think we want to hear more about your father, the huge dog person. It sounds like a werewolf or some sort of cryptozoological thing. And I would definitely like to hear about more about this huge dog father of yours. So 14 points.
14
Thank
points.
you very
It looks
much.
like 14 all the way around. 42.
Okay.
That's a great score.
All right,
Way
I'm
to
happy
kick
with
off
that.
the game. Yeah, and we'll see you in the next round.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we reach into the story-worthy smash can of truth. And this next person coming up this stage. All right, here we go. I just looked at the name and now I know what to talk about. Here's what I'm going to talk about. This talent, he's an actor and a comedian originally from Dallas, Texas, and he's been performing on stage for the better part of his life. Now, he just moved to LA in 2019 and he's been doing stand-up and theater nonstop since his arrival. He's the one. His TV and television and movie credits include This Is Us, Shameless, Bless This Mess, and NCIS, all of which he is easily seen by using your pause button. God forbid, don't blank. Please welcome Philip Charlie Daniel. Hey, here you are. How are you, Charlie? You are guns blazing, ready to go.
I am.
You're usually one of our best chatters in the chat room. I want to thank you for that. All right, you guys, let's tell them what to do.
Spin that wheel. It's been brought to you by Breadwetters. Get rid of that dry bread with Breadwetters. Wet the bread with Breadwetters. Christine?
Mom.
Oh, God. All right. Okay, I can do this in a minute. Here we go. My mom. Well, okay. Hey, here we go. I'm going to tell this one. My mother was wonderful. She always looked out for me. And she protected me from my brothers. And one of my brothers was trying to tell me that a dog will lick peanut butter off of anything. And he didn't specifically say what he would lick it off of because, big brothers don't tell little brothers inappropriate things. But as he was telling me, my mother said, "Stop, don't tell him that," And so she had that in her mind. So fast forward, I thought, dogs will lick peanut butter off anything. So I thought I could train the dog to turn on my light in my closet by putting peanut butter on it. Well, I put the dog up on the shelf and the peanut butter up on the shelf, climbed up on the shelf, pulled them both down, knocked the dog out. The peanut butter was on the ground. The dog was on the ground. And my mother walked in and I was crying and she saw the peanut butter and the dog and said, "What the hell's going on here with this dog and this peanut butter?" But it was all innocent. The dog survived, but the peanut butter didn't.
All right.
Boogie. The dog's name was Boogie.
A little overtime, 109, Ed Crasnick.
I have boogie fever listening to that story. I have to tell you, that's fantastic. Boogie nights, boogie days, it's all boogie all the time. I have to tell you something. You made me think about peanut butter in a whole different way. It could be a murder weapon, and I never realized that. Thank you. The other thing I would say is you never said if it was chunky or super chunky. You didn't say if it was chunky or smooth. I love the fact that your mom came, don't tell him that, keeping things from you, a very good family communication system, very typical for all families. And I like the way that you really wanted to test it out. Not since Ben Franklin have we seen an experiment involving a lamp and peanut butter and electricity. So I have to say, I'm going to give you a perfect score for time. I'm going to take off 1 point for you kind of got into it a little bit late, which is okay because you built some suspense. But I'm going to take off 1 point for a little bit of the content, and I'm going to give you a 5 for staying on topic because once you were there, you did. Boogie heaven. That's it.
What number is that, Ed?
I have no idea. 14 is 14.
Blaine Capatch.
Dogs licking peanut butter off of genitals is one of my favorite comedy tropes that most people don't know about, and I love to. I use it whenever possible. It's just one of my absolute classic favorites. I love that that there was a weird Happy Days episode theme of you trying to. Your mom getting confused about the wrong thing. It was very classic mix up. That was good. I love you in the room. I'm giving you 15 points.
Oh my God, 15 points. Kelly Carlin.
I too liked the sitcom premise setup thing. Like we knew there was going to be some misunderstanding in the future of this. Not quite sure though if this is more of a pet's story than a mom story. So I don't know. I'm a little worried about that part. But I really appreciate you throwing the name of the dog in late.
Yeah, that's great.
That was great. And you know what? I'm never going to look at peanut butter the same. So I'm going to be giving you a 14.
A 14. Okay, so we've got 3 scores. It totals something. We're going to look at the leaderboard, and we're going to see that score right here on the screen. And while we're at it, let's thank the guy who's producing the show, Tom Alper. Thanks, Tom Alper. Philip Charlie Daniel's total score is 43. It's a good score, 43. We'll see you in the next round, Philip Charlie Daniel. All right, you guys, I'm pulling out the next name. All right. This is exciting. This is a very talented person. She is a writer and a teacher and a podcaster with her writing work seen in The Atlantic, The Washington Post, The Rumpus, the HuffPost, and others. She's the host and producer of the award-winning podcast, And Then Everything Changed. And her book, which is titled When She Comes Back, her memoir about the loss of her mother to the guru Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, is her first book. I hold it in my right hand. It's on my phone. It is a fabulous book. I read the whole damn thing. Thank you so much for sending it to me. Please welcome Ronit Plank. Ronit Plank, yay! There she is. All right, guys. How are you, Ronit?
I'm good. How are you, everyone?
Oh, there's your book in the real life version. I love it.
But I did that.
Good looking book for sure. And it was a very, very enjoyable read. I have a feeling
that's why I'm super excited. It just came out.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited too. I read it so fast. It's so good.
Thank you so much.
And I hope we hear a story from that tonight. Ooh. Anyway, let's tell it to you guys.
Spin that wheel. Spin brought to you by Crazy Glue Band-Aids. They're not going anywhere. Crazy Glue Band-Aids.
Holly Weird.
Ooh.
Holly Weird.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
When I start, the clock starts? Or when the clock starts, I start? Okay,
You
I'm gonna
start,
okay.
and then I'll do my best.
Before I was a podcaster and a writer and all that stuff, and living in Seattle, I was at Improv Olympic. I was at the Actors Gang in LA. I met my husband in LA. I moved out there from New York to act, but I had no agent, and I was like doing improvised musical, blah blah blah, and living alone. I didn't have a boyfriend. Not that you need one, but it's nice to have one. And I had a cat, and I just like didn't have a life, and I telemarketed. That was my job. And then I'd come home at night after rehearsal or after performances, and I'd just be like in my little apartment alone, you know, not taking good care of myself. And there was a Winchell's donut shop really close to my house. I lived on Melrose and Sycamore. I was new to Hollywood. I was all alone. And I saw the Winchell's donut shop, and I had become very interested in donuts, a lot of donuts. Many donuts. Sometimes when oh my gosh. Okay. So I knocked on the door at 2 a.m. and the door was locked and it was locked and I couldn't get in. And so then I knocked on the door until they opened the door because it was 2 a.m. and I needed a donut, and I got 3 donuts and I went home alone.
It's a perfect time. 1 minute and 1 second. Fantastic. Blaine Capatch.
I loved it when you said that you went to the Winchells on Melrose and Sycamore, and everybody in the Zoom screens nodded because they all knew which Winchells it was. I thought that was a beautiful human moment. And when you realized that you were running out of time and jumped and went into high gear, that made me so happy. 15 points.
Oh, 15 points. It's a great score. Kelly Carlin.
Ronnie, I want to say something to you. You did not go home alone, darling.
That's right.
You had your donuts with you.
I had the dough. Yes.
I am a huge fan of donuts. That's why I'm on Weight Watchers right now trying to lose 10 pounds, because donuts and I became really dear friends during the pandemic. So you just touched my heart tonight. I'm giving you a 15.
Oh, 15 points. Ed Crasnick.
Ronit, first of all, the story had everything. Like 10 seconds in, you had everything, and you said you had no life. You had the Actors Gang, you had an improvised musical going, you had the promise of donuts, you wanted to have a man, but you didn't have a man, and that was okay. So this is fantastic. You're educating people. It's self-esteem. It's self-esteem theater with you all day long. So I love that. You took me on an emotional roller coaster ride. You're a Ferrari. You're a Ferrari of storytellers, and you're an assassin, obviously, and you're a great storyteller. So even if my screen is frozen, I still want you to hear that I'm giving you a 15. God damn it!
Thank you so much.
Well, this is very exciting. She scored a 45. We're going to see what happens in the next round. Ronit, stand by. You'll be coming back for the next round. And thank you so much for playing. All right, you guys, there is one more story teller, comedian person in the
can of truth.
Oh, where'd she go? Hello. I guess it's us.
Well, the show has been taken over. This is exciting. It's like War of the Worlds.
I feel like we're in the Phantom Zone, you guys.
The Martians have landed on Hollywood Boulevard. This is unbelievable. This might be good.
Little green giant.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
All the times for me not to have my props.
Oh, and
Kelly's pulling out artifacts. This breast cup, it's turned into the Antiques Roadshow.
It was my mother's. I always think of her when I look at it. It kind of looks like a boob.
It does kind of look like a boob when you look at it. Oh, Christine, thank God you're back.
That was so scary, wasn't it?
Christine, we all just had the weirdest dream.
It's fine. We did fine. We took over for a little while. We're good.
I was so scared, but it's okay now. All right, you guys.
Like 10 seconds and there's boobs.
Kelly went right to hosting and boobs. It was amazing.
That a girl. Your dad would be proud.
It's like the Spearmint Rhino Zoom.
All right, you guys. This next contestant, she's the last contestant in this round, and then we go to the second round. She's a comedian and a supermodel who signed a contract at the age of 15 to move to Paris and work with brands like Cartier, Dior, Armani, Hermès, L'Oreal, Vogue, and other names I can't pronounce. She's also appeared in many films like Rock the Casbah, Bad Moms, The Gentleman, And her TV credits include Spy City, True Blood, New Girl, Castle, The Comeback, and Lady Dynamite. Please welcome the very talented Eugenia Kuzmina. Eugenia! There she is. Oh, there she goes. Hey,
Well,
beauty, how
first
are
of all,
you?
Christine, I'm great. First of all, just to let you all at ease, it was hacked by the Russians. It wasn't just an accident.
Figured.
And then, Christine, I love your introduction. I think it was longer than my story, so I appreciate that.
You crack me up. All right, you guys, let's tell Eugenia what to do.
Spin.
Spin that wheel. It's been brought to you by Microsoft Gel Caps. Easier to digest than a tablet. Microsoft Gel Caps. Christine.
Eugenia landed on audience.
Woo!
Audience. So this is when it gets very exciting, and you folks out there in the chat room can chime in now and let us know any particular story topics you want to hear. Here's one: self-care. Here's one: parking. Here's one:
Here's one: self-parking.
All right. We're gonna get some more here. Most embarrassing story, or look at this: grandparents. What about this? Police encounter.
Ooh.
Or thanks
COVID.
COVID-19.
Another police encounter. Most embarrassing. Most embarrassing police encounter.
Yeah, you can all relate to that. If you're lucky enough to still be alive.
With a toy.
What's that mean? Beak.
I don't
Oh,
know.
grandparents? Who said that? Was that agreed upon?
I don't know. The Chiron said it, and we are,
Chiron is flashing.
I like the policing encounter, the most embarrassing police encounter, but you guys tell me whatever you want.
Oh, there we go.
Sure, if you would like. Yeah, I would love that.
Police
I
encounter.
talked
embarrassing
about my
police-
grandparents. One
It
thing
always-
about my grandparents is I started, my grandparents said, drink vodka at 3. You never get sick. Did I ever get sick? I don't know. I was too drunk to remember. So that's all about my grandparents.
So funny. Okay, do you have a police encounter you can talk about?
Yeah, it's a very vulnerable story, and I probably shouldn't be sharing it because I'll be out of the country very soon.
Oh no, that's the best kind of story. And don't worry, I'll marry you. You can stay.
That's how I got in this country in the first place.
All right, whenever you're ready.
So you guys, first of all, I never drove a car, right? I was so poor. I grew up in food lines in Russia, and then I moved to New York, and I was modeling. Obviously, nobody drives a car in New York. I tried to pass the driving test 6 times. There are too many pedestrians crossing. Like, it's impossible, And then I got pregnant. I moved to LA, and I had to freaking drive. So I was 6 months pregnant. I was trying to pass the driving test, and I wasn't passing it in West Hollywood. Don't guys go to West Hollywood DMV. So I went to Pasadena on my 3rd try. And the only reason I passed my test is because the person before me crashed into a tree. True story, crashed into a tree. And then, I'm terrible. I crashed into everybody. That just at a parking mall at Macy's. Okay, that's a joke. I don't go to Macy's. I'm a supermodel, just not a regular model. But it's fine, I'm fine. The police told me they're going to take my license away, and I'm like, it's fine. I'm going to see you driving motorcycle next week on the PCA.
Kelly Carlin.
Well, I loved just the driving test story. Like that for me was the actual story. I was fascinated by that. Police, who cares about the police encounter? But I think that you did a good job here. I'm going to take a point off for story arc wasn't quite there, but I love that you were pregnant when you learned how to drive, and that that earns you something. 14 points.
14 points. I love that she took on the third time. She just went out to Pasadena. They got a lot of space. Maybe not parallel parking. I don't know. Ed Crasnick.
First of all, your life is amazing, Eugenia. Your life is amazing. This is a runway to nowhere, obviously, but your life is amazing. And I love that the pregnancy was like a little blip on the story of learning how to drive. I loved it like that. And I happened to get pregnant. And then I started learning how to drive. And I'm like, so I don't know what, that was an interesting thing to me. But also your background and how you got here, and that the driving was like a big thing. And it was the driving force in your story. And I love that. I love the way that it followed. You're a great joke. You're really funny. And you're a great joke teller. And you've had an amazing life. And I feel really bad about myself. And I'll see you at the premiere. Anyway, that's something not for this show. But no, I'm gonna give you a boy for really sticking to a goal. I'm gonna give you 5. For the story, I'm gonna give you a 4. I'm taking a point off because of the like Kelly said, the arc was a little bit unusual. And for the time, I'm going to give you another 5. So I'm giving you a total of 14, but I wish I could give you a total of 100.
Blaine Capatch.
I don't know how to count, so it doesn't really matter.
I love that you said, I don't shop at Macy's. That was delightful. And I love that you got Ed so riled up. So 15.
15, a great score. Oh my gosh. And Eugenia, she's a very funny comedian. I hope you guys see her around town sometime. And is that it? Let's look at the
I love the California guide pins and the map that everybody is putting down. So, I couldn't do it in the West Hollywood DMV, so I had to go out to Pasadena. That's very everybody out of town is like, oh my God, what are they talking about? But it was great. I loved it.
Well, I had to take the 5 north to the 134 west.
I was going to say like the 110 north for sure. Yeah,
that's right. Hey, Blaine, where did you have to go to get your COVID? Didn't you have to go really far to get your vaccine?
I drove out to the Redlands, which is like almost out to where those big giant dinosaurs are in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I'm almost at Coachella out there, but it was a nice drive. I'd open my sunroof and listen to the new Goat Girl album, and just it was really nice. It was a nice drive.
Very nice. Eugenia's total score 43. Thanks for playing, Eugenia. We'll see you in the next round. In fact, guess what, guys? All the names that are scattered on my table are going back in the Story Smash Can of Truth. That's 4 names total. And the total of this next round is going to be combined with the total of the first round, and that's going to give us our total score. And by the way, the winner tonight wins $10. That's right, $10. I'm gonna give you that money, $10 tomorrow on Venmo. How do you like that? All right. Oh, guess what? One more short announcement. There is no game next Friday. That's right. There's no game next Friday, but we'll see you guys back on May 28th, Friday night, May 28th. No game next week. Keep that in mind. And guess what? We're going back to the Improv in July. I say that. Is it happening? I'm not sure. But
speak it, and it is true.
That's what I'm saying, Kelly. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. All the names are back in the Story Smash Can of Truth. Ed Crasnick, who's coming up for the first? Who's coming up first? Oh my!
She's coming up back.
Eugenia's coming out, and she's coming out of the Can of Truth.
Come on out, Eugenia! Come on out, sister.
Bring your drink with you.
You're back. Nice to see you, sweetie.
My daughter's mic, it's totally fake. So, but
it's a beautiful microphone. And let's tell Eugenia what to do, you guys.
Spin that wheel.
Don't hit the cat.
I'm so glad because my kids are alone, so nobody's supervising them. So I better finish this show.
Vacation. Eugenia, you landed on vacation. You have 1 minute or 2 minutes. 2 minutes to tell us your vacation story. Take your time.
Vacation. So I never took a vacation before, you guys. I started working as a model when I was born, literally. In Russia, the kids get separated from mothers, like right when they're born, they're put in another room. And the newspaper came to the hospital and they're like, oh, we need to photograph a baby for a newspaper. So they took me out. And that's how I started modeling without consent. Thank you, newspapers. This is public. And I never had a vacation. I literally was working as a model and, then acting, whatever they can use me for. And I think my first vacation was as actually getting pregnant again, being a mom. All my achievements come to that, because when I became a mom in the middle of my modeling career, my agent said it was like a suicide mission and I was ruining my career. I was 21 and I shouldn't said my age, but basically, your career goes down from when you're 16. So at that age, I can eat anything I want. Thank God, for models, if I'm always hungry. And literally, I'm almost like a breatharian. I cook the cabbage, eat the water, and, inhale the steam and eat the steam. That's all. So when I was a mom, I finally felt like I was on vacation. I didn't have to wake up, in weird places, because as a model, you always travel to different countries. You never know what's happening next day. So for the first time in my life, I knew what was happening tomorrow. I was going to be a mom. And that was very exciting. And it was also very relaxing because, I didn't have to do all these phone calls. I knew that probably people wouldn't hire me, even though they did. I once got hired for Gap as a model, being pregnant at 3 months old. And they told me to jump up and down and have a smile on. And I tried to do that. And then I ran into the bathroom and I vomit. And then I just put the smile back on, because that's what models do. So I kind of had a vacation in the bathroom at that time as well. And that was probably the most that I could get out of my vacation, because I'm also married second time.
All right. You're right at 2 minutes. We were starting another story, but I thought we got a lot out of vacation, Kelly Carlin.
So what I loved about this is that you turned the world upside down with all of us, because there are people who are moms right now with 2 kids who are dreaming of being a supermodel and getting to travel the world to exotic places and sit by pools and starve themselves in honor of their career. But instead, you turned it all around. The vacation was staying home and getting to eat what you want and not having to get on an airplane and deal with horrible people making you do horrible things to your body in service of some ideal of beauty that we'll never live up to. So I want to honor that part of your story. And but there wasn't much of an arc there. There wasn't much of a story there. But the whole, like, the unique point of view that you gave us, no one else here is going to give us something like that. That's the heart of storytelling, is revealing your world that we all want to live into. So I'm giving you a 15.
Oh, man, that's great, Kelly. I hear you. That's awesome. 15, Ed Crasnick.
First of all, I'm giving you 15 points for the microphone that Liberace used at his bar mitzvah. That's number one. That's number
You're
one.
A caution.
Yeah, that's number one. Now, also, what's so interesting? The window into modeling was so, like Kelly said, to echo what she said, is so wonderful, and the way your attitude about it and your perspective on it is so interesting. I wish you could. I don't know if you've written books or you speak to models, but gee whiz, they need you. The other thing is that the way you get a vacation from being a supermodel is to get pregnant at 21. That is fantastic. That pregnancy is actually used as a vacation stop, and then the Gap scene that we all enjoy so much, of you jumping up and down and then running in and throwing up, which is a very common practice at the Gap. Very common when you see some of the fall lineup from that store. Anyway, I'm going to give you a 15 again, because I'm just so fascinated by your life. There are so many great details, and I want to make a movie while we're talking.
Thanks. There's no arc, guys, just to let you know at all.
It doesn't have to be an arc when it's that interesting.
Blaine Capatch.
I thought it was great. The part of where Russian babies are separated from their mothers and turned into supermodels, I think is there's the first page of the screenplay right there. I think you should start writing that up.
Yeah.
I like that you taught this, that you said breatharians, because I was on the Beth Lapidus experience, this pre-podcast thing, and we had a breatharian on. And they don't eat, they just say they eat air and survive on essence and whatever. And he goes, yeah, I mean, I eat food sort of like as a hobbyist. Like, what? Yeah, but okay. So I thought that was great, just bringing that memory back. Thank you for that. And I went to the Gap, and they made me jump up and down, and I was just buying socks. So 15.
15 points from Blaine Capatch. I don't know what this is going to total, but I think it's going to be a good score. Eugenia's total 45. Amazing. Way to go, sister. We'll see you back here in a couple of minutes at the end of the show. Thanks, Eugenia. All right, you guys, reaching into the story smash can of truth and bringing out the next storyteller's name. Who is it, Kelly Carlin?
It is Ronit Plank.
Ronit Plank. All right, come on back, Ronit. There you are. All right, guys, let's tell Ronit what to do.
Spin back wheel.
This has been brought to you by Mountain Dew Black, now available without a prescription.
Interviews.
2
minutes.
Yeah, the interviews. Okay, I have one. Okay, so back to, I'm in LA, and I'm a young well, no, I'm not that young actress in LA, with only myself to depend on. And I'm hoping at going to the auditions and not really getting an agent, but I have a manager who wants to like Zoom with me or Skype with me and his wife. And I'm not so sure about that, but I was like, well, he's a manager. And so I go to this audition. It was for what seemed like a really good, something up on Sunset Boulevard. And I'm super psyched. I'm wearing sort of like professional dress. And I go in there, and it's, anyone who hasn't done this, you're just like this, you go to these random places. Like I used to be in New York City. That's where I'm from. I would be changing in lobbies into like the right clothes. I'd be like, get away from me. Like a trash can cat. Like I'm changing into the outfits and the short skirts. I mean, I went for the whole thing. So I go to this audition, and the woman is behind a desk. It's a dark room, and I come in. She's like, okay, so this is what we need you to do. Okay. What we need you to do is we need to sell this product so that we can tell the clients and the customers that you really know what you're doing. So she whips out onto the desk, and I'm not exaggerating, a giant phallus, shiny and black, giant. And I'm like, but I really, really want the job. I want to get this thing because I need the job. And so she starts to tell me that I need to stroke it. And she is, yes. And she's like, this is the BBD. The big, because it's a giant phallus. And I was like, because I have really delicate sensibilities, okay? But I start to do it, and then I start to do it, but I feel really weird, but I'm a desperate actor. Stuff comes out of it. Oh. I'm not even kidding. And I'm sort of shocked. And then she's like, you were amazing. We would love to use you in our reality show. We would love to use you. And I was like, you used me as a prop, as a joke? And I said, no, you may not, and give me that release. And I left. And I will always remember the BBD because it was one of the lowest points of my life.
Well, what a story, Ed Crasnick.
Well, I remember, and I've heard this before, that there was a penis, and a piñata is a penis yada. And so I know that things come out. But I think that what I love is that you're a young actress. You will do anything. You will do anything for your art. And you knew that this wasn't right, but you're a professional. You're an actress. You're trying to do the best you can. You're a kind person. I love that. I would give you 100 points just for that, because I totally understand that and relate to that. I just like the way you tell stories. I think your energy is fantastic. And that sounds like an old Jew talking.
I'm a younger Jew.
Well, that's true. And I'm an old Jew, and we have a play here. So we're gonna do I'm Not Rappaport, the two of us. But no. So I'm giving you a 5 for story and topic and content. I'm giving you a 5 for because of your courage also, and I'm giving you a 5 for time. I believe because I believe you were on time.
Yeah, she really
So,
was.
I'm going to give you a perfect score. Really, Ronit, I'm giving you a perfect score because you deserve it for having to go through that and actually making it work.
This is like vindication all these years later. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Blaine Capatch, by the way, before you tell us your answer, have you ever seen such a competitive game?
I have not. I don't think I ever have. I remember seeing the Rumble in the Jungle back in 1968 with
sure.
Ali. I flew down there. I was 3 years old. I remember seeing that. I saw Mike Tyson bite that guy's ear off. I saw Fan Man. I got into it with him in the parking lot. I've seen a lot of fights, Christine, but I don't think I've ever seen anything. Oh, I saw Earl Anthony and Steve Miserak just beating the shit out of each other with pool cues. And, it was at the Hilltop in Braintree.
What's Zaire?
Hilltop in Braintree.
No, I was in it was in South Africa. It was Johannesburg.
Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, what do you think of Ronit's fabulous story?
Oh, that. Oh, I thought it was fantastic. When she said the big BBM stands for big. I'm like, no, I wonder what that's gonna give me something to think about for a while. I have to figure that out. Like it's like trying to figure out a license plate. But that whole thing, the whole interview and all that thing, the degrading myself, that happened to me at the Gap. So 15 points.
Another 15 points. Let's take the "You Went to Zaire" banner off. Thank you. 15 points. And we're moving on to Kelly Carlin.
I wish.
Me too. Love to go to Zaire.
Kelly.
Well, I loved it. It was a great story. 2 things that really popped out for me. One was you mentioned something about changing in the lobbies in New York, like a trash can cat. Never heard that before. Absolutely love that.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Using it for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Just like the visual of that was so brilliant. And then what I really love about it is that you were okay. I mean, you weren't okay, but you were like willing to like whatever this part is going to be, I'm going to stroke the BBD and all of that. But then when it came to the fact that this is for a reality show, oh no, that's where you draw the line with your integrity, which means that you are a good person, 100%. I'm giving you a 15.
A 15. Oh my gosh. Lots of numbers coming up. Ronit's total score 45. We're going to combine that with the first score. I don't know what's happening. It's all so exciting. Thanks for playing, Ronit. We'll see you in a little bit. And now I'm reaching back into the Story Smash Can of Truth. And the next person coming up for a true 2-minute story.
Can of Truth.
Twice the fun. And yeah, we all like the name Trash Can Cat. We all agree that we like that name.
I'm serious.
Trash Can Cat. I also heard about if you see a raccoon in the trash can, that's called what's that called?
We want to stay on the air, Christine.
Okay, great. This next person coming to the stage right now for a true 2-minute story. Who is it, Ed?
It's Philippe Charlie Daniel.
Charlie Daniel.
This mic may look fake, but it's real.
I apologize.
All right, you guys, let's tell Charlie what to do. Spin.
Wheel. This has been brought to you by Gradual Dawn, getting your dishes clean the old-fashioned way. Slow. Gradual Dawn.
Pets. You learned on this last time?
Yes.
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 Guess what?
Yes, I did.
Spin that wheel.
Wheel again.
Great.
Second spin brought to you by Time Machine. Nothing kills baby Hitler like a time machine. Now available in Lady Time Machine. Why should guys have all the fun?
Oh, shit. He landed on audience. Philip Charlie Daniel landed on audience. Let's look at some of the possible story topics that he'll be telling tonight.
Come on, do me right.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Parallel parking sucks. Beach. Okay, toys. Grandparents.
Toys tonight. Grandparents being pushed. Toilet urgency. Other things being pushed.
Starstruck.
UFOs.
Well, that's always good.
Blaine, my God, the hits keep coming.
That's why Ryan Seacrest is paying my rent for a year here on Kiss FM.
Kiss FM. Woo!
Travel.
He used to work at Hug FM. I guess he just worked his way up.
Trash
See,
can
travel's always good.
Travel.
Travel.
The excitement in your voice now.
Oh, there's travel again. Kismet.
Could be crackers.
Let's go with travel. I think it's. You can work a worse food experience. You can work a bad food experience into some travel.
All right.
Travel. We're going travel. All right, you guys. Whenever you're ready, Charlie, you got 2 minutes on the wheel. 2 minutes. Just go ahead and start, and I'll start the clock.
Let me start my clock.
Adjust your Ritz crackers appropriately.
Don't forget to set your chicken and a biscuits ahead an hour
How long
tonight.
do you hold a prop before it becomes unfunny?
You know what? Like you got to keep it the whole time because by the end it'll be really, really funny.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Travel. I love to travel. In college, my buddies and I every winter time in Texas, we would go to Colorado to go skiing. Yeah. And just so you know, Coloradans hate Texans. And this is the upward part of my arc right here, our travel to Colorado. So we get to Colorado and we stay at this condominium, and they already don't like us because they know we're from Texas. And so we're just a bunch of frat boys, and we're there to ski and drink, and that's pretty much it. So we make a lot of noise and we don't make any friends in the condo. And so one night we're having a drinking party that I'm sure involved ping pong balls and cups and a baby goat of some sorts. But we ordered food about halfway through the party and then passed out, forgot about the food. And so about 4 o'clock we wake up and we decide to go downstairs to get our food, and the lobby staff had ate our food. They'd eaten our food. They ate our food. And so we were pissed. So we were going to get back at those darn staff in the hotel lobby. So we decided that the next day when we left, we were going to take a little firecracker we had. It was called an M80 or something, but very powerful firecracker. We were going to wait by the front door in our car, in our Bronco, and whose name was Boogie, and we were going to throw it in the front door as soon as someone opened the door. We're going to throw it in the lobby, and we were going to get those Coloradoans because that's what Texans do. And so we waited, and I'm in the passenger seat, so I light the firecracker. The door opens, and it's a state trooper. And so I take the firecracker and I throw it on the floorboard of the Bronco and put both feet on it, and it blew up as everyone's trying to get in the back of the Bronco, blew a hole in the bottom of the Bronco. And then we all got undressed like a bunch of refrigerator otters.
All right, 210. That's the second best Broncos story I've ever heard. Blaine Capatch.
I love the Broncos' name was Boogie. That was a great story. I love the fact that Colorado hates Texas. I don't know why that's not a movie. I'm 5 pages into the script of that one. It's called Colorondominium. And I love that you took a quick little eddy to the side there and tried to conjugate eat and ate and eaten. That was delightful. 15 points.
Oh, 15 points. Fantastic. Hey, what is this virtual tip jar you speak of? What is this you say?
Sit at the bar and put bread in it.
Ed Crasnick,
"Man,
what do you say? Ed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I here? Yes, I'm here. Charlie, I liked your storytelling technique. What you do is you set up the story with a line like you did with the dog story. You said, my mom said you're not supposed to tell me this. And then this one was, just so you know, which I love that. I love setting things up like that. It's great. And then I think that the story had a nice progression to it. It was like a real, this equals, it's a real great arc to this one. And then I love that it ended with a bang. I mean, it's a kind of a perfect story. The only thing that I'll say about it is that I thought it was going to end in cannibalism, and I thought that would have been a great story. But I'm old school. So anyway, I think that I'm going to give you a 15 for everything that you did. Well, I cannot give you a 15 because you went 10 seconds overtime.
Oh, yeah,
but you know what? I can do whatever I want. It's America. Stand back and stand by. I'm giving you a 15.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you so much. That was
stand back and stand by.
Stand by, Blaine Capatch.
Sorry, what? Hold on for a second. My kid's telling. Hey, what's the joke?
What do you call a sheep that's angry at you?
I don't know. What do you call a sheep that's angry at you?
A roly poly.
Woo! That was awesome.
I hope he's adopted. It's my mom's curse. I thought I already went.
Yeah.
Yes,
did everybody go?
No, it's me.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Kelly.
I agreed with everything that Ed and Blaine said, and I also liked that you made yourself the butt of the joke, and that you reinforced my stereotype of Texans being crazy by putting your feet on an M80 in a car. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard of.
It is.
It's insane. And just ramped up the urgency in the story so much. So I loved it. I thought it was great, and I'm giving you a 15.
Oh, wow. Another 15.
So much. Thank you.
Amazing. I remember M80s in high school, and they were like the big red ones. And I just remember, put them in a toilet or somebody would set it off. It was a big deal. The only bigger deal was a bottle rocket.
Hey, am I gonna get M80 if I didn't see M70?
Look at that. A perfect 45 score for Philip Charlie Daniel. I'm not surprised. And everybody is talking. Oh, look at that. Somebody says he's putting on the Ritz. That's pretty funny, Jack Key Kai. And some people are commenting on your child. Beautiful. And also, he looks just like you. And also, and also people love Kelly's earrings. Are they heavy, Kelly?
No, they're beaded. But can you tell I'm on Instagram and I'm a total sucker?
I love it. I think it's really great. And this is exciting. All right, you guys, we're going to put our name back in the story, this can, and bring up our final storyteller. This guy is also very talented. You know that because you heard him in the first round. And his name is, everybody,
John Flynn.
All right, you guys, come on, John.
Hey, I think I somehow got Ronit's microphone.
Oh, hello.
All right, you guys, let's tell him what to do. Spin.
Mad. Wheel. This has been brought to you by Gravitational Lens Crafters, letting you see the galaxies behind those galaxies in about an hour. Gravitational Lens Crafters.
Hollyweird.
Hollyweird. Okay. Sure.
Weird.
So, my first time I came to LA, I was a struggling actor in New York, and I booked a modeling job, which was there's more than one model on the lineup tonight. Everybody, you're welcome. And I was so excited because it was a great gig. It was like a ridiculous job. It was for a credit card. And they told me you're going to be on billboards and the sides of buses and in subways. And I was so excited and looking forward to walking through Times Square and seeing like Phantom, Lion King, me. And so I get flown out and, going, it was my first time to LA and I was like, this is my first modeling job. And I was like, I'm going to be the model of all models. I'm going to be just like a great example for models everywhere. So, I show up early and everyone's like, oh, models never show up earlier. And I'm like, I'm not that kind of a model. Don't you worry. And the hair and makeup people are all laughing and they're like, oh my God, you're so much fun. And I was like, thank you. I know. And because it was for a credit card, one of the PAs like came up to me at one point. They're like, hey, so the premise of this commercial is that you actually are a credit card user and we know that you don't have one of our credit cards. So here's one now. They gave me a credit card that's already activated. You could use it. And I was like, oh my God, being a model is amazing. I love it. I'm never going to get out of bed for less than $20,000 ever again, which is how much this gig paid. And I go to set and everyone's all excited. And there's this one woman who was just like on her BlackBerry the whole time. And you could tell that she was like the alpha. She was the big person who was in charge of everything. And she looks up, she goes like, who hired this guy? And suddenly everyone in the entire set like turned against me. And they were like, well, what are we going to do? Look at him. Look at what are we supposed to do? That's what he looks like. What can we do? And then the thing that she really hated was I had some like errant chest hair. So they had to hire a professional chest hair thinner to come and thin out my chest hair. And suddenly no one talked to me. They flew me back home. I waited for months, never saw my face on any billboards. And then a friend of mine who was on tour in St. Louis called me and said, hey, there's a picture of you in a truck stop for this credit card in where St. Louis. And that's where my modeling dreams went to die.
That's a great story. Amazing, Ed Crasnick.
There are so many reasons why I love this story. First of all, you describe an errant chest hair, which I've never heard. Errant. It was errant. So obviously a playwright. And that's fantastic. And then the other thing is you're going to make $20,000. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the best night of your life. And then it turns into Carrie. It turns into the movie Carrie in some ways without the blood. And so you have Carrie without the blood. But I love that it ends with this beautiful arc where you're found in a gas station in a picture of a MasterCard or a Discover card ad. And I think that's really great. So you brought it home beautifully.
Thank you.
You're really great, John. And your empathy to be a good model, I think, is a wonderful thing. You're not that kind of model. You're the other kind of model. So I love that. And I'm giving you a 15 for so many reasons that I can't even count on one hand. Even though you went a little bit over time, I'm still giving you a 15 because I'm a human being and my life has value.
You're not that kind of judge. Got ya.
No, I'm not that kind of judge. Congratulations.
Blaine Capatch.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was a wonderful story about how show business really works and how quick people are to turn. Not that I don't want it to sound negative, but it was a very honest human story, I thought. But again, I thought you buried the lead a little bit with the fact that you were a Russian baby. I had no idea that we had so many Russian babies on the show this evening. So, because I mean, yeah. Anyway, I love this so much. I feel bad for giving you 14 the first time, so I'm giving you 16.
No.
He can do what he wants, Christine.
Yeah. All right. Kelly.
Yeah, that was great. That was a lot of fun. Everybody's really, really fun tonight. This is a great show.
What a great night. Holy cow.
I love that you are a model role model. That's what you are. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And the cautionary tale is there for all of us, all you young kids listening out there. I hope you learned something tonight. Hollywood is weird and stay away, except for the donuts. The donuts are good. And I was wondering, I hope you didn't use the $20,000 and spend it all and then rack up another $20,000 on that fucking credit card.
No, I cut up the credit card before. I
Good
went
for
home.
you. Look at that. 15 points just for cutting up the credit card. Well done.
Wow. Great score, Ed Crasnick.
I think I already went, but I'm going to say to you, to everything, John, turn. That's my
I know. Isn't that the truth? Let's add up the score. It's going to be a lot of points. I know that. And I feel like everybody did such a good job. Oh my God. John's total score is also 45. So now there's a lot of numbers that have to be added. I'm very excited. We're going to bring everybody back. Oh, look, there's Ronit.
We have to add those numbers.
Yeah.
That's right, Ronit. You start working on that. Charlie Daniel, Eugenia, do you feel threatened by John Flynn?
Well, I don't know numbers, so I don't really feel threatened by anything.
I know, but his beauty.
I love John. I actually appreciate having another model, and I actually studied at UCB, so.
Is that right?
Yes.
Supermodels at UCB.
All right. There's a lot to think about. We're not here next week, and I know you guys are gonna miss me, and I'll miss you too. But sometimes it has to happen. I have to take a break. I'm going back east, if you can imagine. While we're adding up these scores, I'll just tell you, I'm going back east. I'm going to see my family. I'm going to do a show on Sunday. Hopefully, some people will come, and then I'm going to New York, and I'm going to do a show there. How do you like that?
Jealous.
Yeah.
Very nice,
I know. It's very exciting. And so I'll be on the road, but I'll be back, and Story Smash will be back on May 28th right here, a Friday night, free show. Let's take a look at the scores. Are they available? It is a well-deserved break. I appreciate that. John's total score is 87. 87, for God's sake, it's only 3 away from from 90. Very good, John Flynn. Wow.
It's gonna be a 9-way tie tonight.
Yeah.
Eugenia, 88. Eugenia, what a great score.
The Russian hacked the system.
Yeah.
Philip Charlie Daniels, he also got 88. Philip Charlie Daniels. Hey, way to go, Philip Charlie Daniels. Thanks. What? What's happening? Here comes the music.
Ronit's total score 90.
Holy shit! He had a perfect score. I can't believe it. Way to go, Ronit Plank.
How did I do it?
Score. Get out there and buy her book, you guys, right now. It's called, there it is, When She Comes Back. An amazing book. And a big thank you to everybody who played the game tonight. John Flynn. And, of course, Eugenia, Kuzmina, and Philip, Charlie, Daniel. And a big special thanks to our judges. I can't do it without you. Kelly Carlin, holy cow. You're a very good judge. Thank you so much. And obviously, Ed Crasnick, you're the best. And Blaine Capatch, I could not do any of this without you. Honestly, I'm so happy to be your friend, and I'm so happy you help me every Friday night. Thank you,
Love you, Christine. Thanks for having me.
So much. All right, you guys. My name is Christine Blackburn. Good night. See you tomorrow.